Assalamualaikum. Madayaw maayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. On July 1, I officially took the office of the Vice President of the Philippines, clearly reminded and guided by my mandate and the contract that I signed with the Filipino people during my inauguration in Davao City. That I will serve God, I will serve the country, and I will serve my fellow Filipinos. My first 100 days as Vice President had been marked by many challenges I had prepared myself for, given my long experience in government service and politics. Challenges are part of the job. They flow through your path as a public servant. They test your resolve, they test your determination, they test your dedication to public service, they test your anchor, and may even push you off track. You may sometimes lose sight of everything you intend to do because of these challenges. As a public servant, I am no longer surprised by these challenges. Instead, I look at them as opportunities as they open windows for us too. With great sense of urgency, study, assess, and address conditions that we need to overcome to move along. Today, let me report to you that in the first 100 days of my first year in office as Vice President, we have initiated watershed decisions that would not only significantly change the way Filipinos look at the office of the Vice President, but most importantly, would strengthen its mandate and will enable the office to serve more and more Filipinos across the country. The watershed decisions that we have initiated, the reforms on the pipeline, the expansion of the existing social services programs, the implementation programs aimed at addressing lack of livelihood, and recovery from disasters and armed conflicts, these all bring us to an office of the Vice President that will never leave any sector behind. To ensure that services offered by the OVP will not only be concentrated in the National Capital Region, but will also reach the regions in Mindanao and the Visayas, we have established OVP satellite offices in Dagupan, Cebu, Tacloban, Zamboanga, Davao, Surigao del Sur, and Bacolod. This is first in the history of the Office of the Vice President. But more than that, the significance of the OVP satellite offices can be best appreciated by the number of indigent Filipinos being served day in and day out. The satellite offices have made the Office of the Vice President become more accessible to Filipinos, offering a menu of services such as medical and burial assistance. We set up the OVP Disaster Operations Centers to institutionalize the disaster relief activities of the OVP, another first in the history of the Office of the Vice President. The Disaster Operations Center will put disaster response at the forefront of OVP operations, recognizing that disaster or calamity-stricken communities desperately need relief assistance and other social services. The Office of the Vice President Disaster Operations Center will work closely and will complement the operations of other concerned agencies, including the National Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council and its local counterparts, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, and local government units. Fresh from its inception, the OVP Disaster Operations Centers responded to the victims and survivors of the July 27 earthquake in Abra. In coordination with the OVP Disaster Operations Center, the OVP satellite offices will also respond and aid those affected by disasters and calamities in the regions. We have also assisted 3,000 residents of 6 towns of Nueva Ecija who were affected by the recent Typhoon Karding, giving them 5,000 each. The 15 million assistance was made through the Assistance for Individuals in Crisis Situations of the Department of Social Welfare Development. Coming into office, one of the challenges we immediately identified was the need for the Office of the Vice President's central office to be centralized. Moving all the OVP workforce into one building was necessary for faster, more efficient, and more effective public service delivery. From 2 separate offices in Quezon City, The office of the Vice President is now located at the Robinson Cybergate Plaza in Mandaluyong. 1 OVP. Our current goal is to establish a permanent office for the future Vice Presidents of the country. We have also conducted initial scoping and linkages with the National Center for Culture and the Arts, National Historical Commission of the Philippines, and the National Museum of the Philippines for the construction of museum of all Vice Presidents of the Philippines. At the OVP Central Office, the medical and burial assistance for indigent Filipinos continues and even improved with our partnership with the Department of Health for the Medical Assistance to Indigent Patients program. The program covers at least 31 public hospitals all over the country. Our partnership with the Department of Social Welfare and Development enables Filipinos in crisis situations to access government assistance through the OVP satellite offices. On August 3, we launched the OVP Libreng Sakay program to provide the riding public free transportation services in key areas in Metro Manila, Cebu, Lapu-Lapu, Mandaue, Bacolod, and Davao City. We hope that through this program, we will be able to provide relief to some of our fellow Filipinos who rely on public transport for their daily commute to work, to school, and many other places in the country. This is in partnership with the Department of Transportation. In the coming days, the OVP Kalusugan food trucks will be on the road addressing malnutrition among school children and children in areas affected by natural and human-induced calamities across the country. The implementation of the program is done in partnership with the Department of Education and the Department of Health through the National Nutrition Council. The Kalusugan food trucks will be deployed in target areas for 120 days, completing the cycle in which a child's nutrition is adequately addressed. We have also strengthened our diplomatic relations with other countries. Within a week of assumption, I received a courtesy call from the State Councilor and Foreign Minister of the People's Republic of China, His Excellency Wang Yi. I likewise received courtesy calls from the ambassadors of Australia, India, Ireland, Italy, Japan, Laos, People's Democratic Republic, New Zealand, Qatar, Thailand, United States of America, and Vietnam, and the head of delegation of the European Union in Manila. Among topics discussed include overall bilateral relations between the Philippines and their countries. These courtesy calls also touched on deepening or exploring possible cooperations in the areas of education, culture, and technology. On September 27, I represented the Philippines as the special envoy to the state funeral of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe in Japan. Also with me in Japan were Trix and her mother. Trix is a grade 9 student from Dinalupihan, Bataan. She was invited to join me as part of the project You Can Be VP of the Office of the Vice President, a project that aims to inspire learners to dream big and aim high. Together, we met with Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida. She also joined me during my visit to Minato Ward, Shibahama Elementary School in Minato City. And we met with officials from the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology to exchange views on blended learning, values, and skill formation, STEM education, and COVID-19 response. Here's Trix sharing to us her You Can Be VP experience in Japan.
Interesado po akong malaman po ang trabaho po ni Vice President Sara Duterte sapagkat po nais ko pong malaman kung paano po ang maging isang Vice Presidente ng Pilipinas. kung paano at ano po ang mga ginagawa niya bilang isang Vice President at the same time po DepEd Secretary. Interesado po ako kung paano niya po ma-handle ang dalawang napakabigat na responsibilidad po dito po sa Pilipinas. Napakarami ko po natutunan sa pagsama niya po sa akin. Isa po sa akin natutunan ay dapat po wag po mahihiya sa mga nais ko pong ipabatid or nais po namin ipabatid dahil po ito naman po ay para po sa kapakanan ng lahat. At gusto ko po sabihin na maraming salamat po Vice President Sara Duterte sa walang sawang pagsuporta po sa katulad ko pong mag-aaral. Sana po ay hindi pa po kayo magsawa sa paggawa ng iba't ibang proyekto po patungkol po sa ikabubuti po ng edukasyon dito sa Pilipinas. At mapaguro po, eskwelahan at mag-aaral po. Sana po ay hindi lang po ako ang makakita ng inyong mga ginagawa bilang Vice President at DepEd Secretary po. Maraming salamat po.
The Japan trip was also an opportunity for me to meet with Filipinos working and living in Japan. And I hope to be able to meet more Filipinos in my future visits. The Pagbabago campaign is a program that complements my job as the Secretary of the Department of Education. It aims to instill the importance of basic education and nurture among young Filipinos the value of determination and hard work as main ingredients to success. We give learners bags that contain school supplies and hygiene kits, but it also underpins the importance of responsible parenthood and family planning among parents. At least 3,220 students have already received Pagbabago bags. They are from remote areas in the country of Limasawa Island in southern Leyte, Municipality of Jordan in Island Province of Guimaras, Caramoan in Camarines Sur, Kidapawan City in North Cotabato, Siquijor Province, Dasmariñas in Cavite, and Bangued in Abra. We have also partnered with the Public Attorney's Office for Filipinos asking for legal assistance, including those that representation for clemency. Our partnership with the Department of Trade and Industry will also benefit eligible beneficiaries of government programs for micro, small, and medium enterprises. In the coming months, you can expect that the Office of the Vice President will roll out more programs and projects that aim to create production impacts and meaningful change in the lives of our fellow Filipinos, especially those who are less privileged, women and members of the LGBTQI+ community, those who are economically insecure, uneducated, and those who are severely affected by the aftershocks of the pandemic, natural disasters, and human-induced calamities such as armed conflict. Within 100 days, I traveled to 20 cities in Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao, and went to the islands of Limasawa in southern Leyte, Siquijor, Guimaras, and Caramoan. And in the coming days, there will be more challenges ahead. Challenges that we hope to turn into opportunities to be able to serve you and our country better. We are just starting. Daghang salamat. Shukran.